Yep, just a lot of text. And this was an important slide to show, showing the elements of the CMF, how those are being utilized in the material pledge, and then same how the CMF is being used in lead reporting. This is just data flowing from projects to reports, no manual steps, what we're going to do, end to end. We work with manufacturers on all or parts of their journey, not just a tool problem. Here's the challenges, and now we're caught up. Thank you. So in the transparency catalog, today we have over 2,300 manufacturers and industry organizations. The transparency catalog was launched in 2016. There were only 350 brands anywhere in the world making products for the North American market who had invested in EPDs or material disclosures at that time. Today, you can see it has scaled to include manufacturers across 28 master format divisions, over 1,000 sections. We only add master format sections to the catalog when there's content in that section. Our data team has been working on the transparency catalog for 10 years. We have a dedicated data team. They are continually pulling data from every EPD program operator in North America. We categorize them as product specific, industry average, optimized. We have all the material ingredient disclosures via API or from spreadsheets or other methods of data sharing from all of the leading programs. And we're in the process of adding all the low emitting certificates from the leading providers. But what I want to stress is that all of this data is ethically sourced. And I use that term because every data partner that we have gives us the data either in spreadsheets or through an API, or knows that we are using their website to source that data. And we never use AI bots to scrape a website. I want to make that point because it's fundamentally at the core of building a data set that you can trust. If there's real people, we're using tools, but there's real people collecting that data, aggregating it, and organizing it into the structure that it's in. So what we do differently than anyone else, again, because we deliver LCA technical services, we support manufacturers creating material disclosures, we have the technical underpinning, we know what the data means. So back in 2019, we established a partnership with Building Transparency. We were the first data partner with the EC3 tool. We built with them a specific aspect of their API just for us to be able to bring in the comparative result of an EPD compared to others in the category, so that you no longer have to go into EC3 to run comparisons between EPDs. We're simply displaying that for you. And because we have that data, you can filter and sort by preferred impact, if you want to set a threshold or not set a threshold. And I'm going to show using these filters live when I do the demo. We do the same thing with the material disclosures. We allow you to select and filter based on the performance attributes and the type of material disclosure that you prefer. And we always display in the interface the confirming data so that you know I filtered on a particular set of attributes, and that's what's showing up in the product table. What you're seeing in the product table is a matrix. The horizontal axis is the master format section number that the product goes in. The vertical axis is the link to the product page on the manufacturer's website. We don't believe that we should manage content, a manufacturer's content, that data should be found on their website, the single source of truth. And then we organize the corollary data, If they have EPDs, they have material disclosures and low emitting certificates, we align those disclosures and the results with the product that they support. A little bit about who uses the catalog. We've been around for so long, and we have always been this reliable source of EPDs, material disclosures, and now low emitting certificates. This is some great third-party validation that we're very proud of. This is the ENR top green report they publish every year. So they publish a list of 100 top green design firms and 100 top green contractors. These are images from their report that show literally practically every top firm by sector, both design firms and contractors, source materials in the transparency catalog. And 80% of the top 25 in each list use the transparency catalog, 70% of the top 50. And so we've really been successful at attracting the most dedicated and motivated organizations committed to high performance building. And even though the transparency catalog is a North American resource, people from all over the world use it, and they come, they do a lot of work. There's a lot of searching, reading of documents, and ultimately downloading. And now they're adding products to projects. So this is introducing Project Builder Library. Now think about it as an application that sits alongside the transparency catalog. And I will repeat, the transparency catalog is free to use. You don't even need an account to log in. Anybody can use it whenever they want. You can get a free account. It gives you a little bit more functionality. You can export spreadsheets, you can see a little bit more data, but it's not necessary. And the transparency catalog will always be free. Project Builder Library is a subscription service. I'm happy to tell you more about that later. I will say we have kept the costs very low so that lots of people in an organization can have access to it to achieve that promise of standardizing high performance materials across an organization. So Project Builder Library is the only collaborative solution for creating a digital knowledge base of products and materials that meet carbon impact and human health goals. It's a knowledge base for all of the materials that you have used in the past, that you're currently using, not just high performance materials, because if you don't benchmark the stuff that you're using now, then you don't know what you need to upgrade or replace. And so there's a very key use case about creating projects, past projects in Project Builder to instantly audit them and then source materials in those same master format sections using the selection criteria of the transparency documents to find alternatives to use in projects going forward. So suffice to say, it's kind of the natural evolution of the transparency catalog to add Project Builder and Library. As I mentioned earlier, we've been designing it for over 7 years. We've had hundreds of design sessions and meetings and fact-finding with manufacturers and design and construction professionals to build this environment where people can collaboratively capture knowledge and experience and create your own libraries, your own personal libraries, the organization's library. You can create projects, project templates, collections, and all of it's collaborative and reusable. All those decisions get made using your own selection criteria, and you will always have live, up-to-date product and transparency content in your own internal knowledge base. We're excited to be able to show you an overview of the kinds of firms who are using Project Builder across the design and construction process, really tiny organizations to really large organizations. It works well for everyone. So we've designed 2 constructs for organizations to capture knowledge. You can create your organization's favorite products library. So that's like a physical library is only organized by Dewey Decimal System. The organization's digital library is organized only by master format. Every user gets their own personal library where they can keep their own stash of favorite products, but also to do research on products and then be able to create a public project or to put those products into the organization's library after they've been vetted and reviewed. But the project construct is where most of the activity is going to happen. And the reason that we created these two constructs is because we recognize that most organizations, because you sell billable hours, you're not going to get paid to build a library, but you probably could get paid for researching materials in the context of a project. And so we use the term project very loosely. Projects are just containers for products that people can collaboratively research, evaluate, and share, brands and products. So there's 4 types of projects that we have identified. You can certainly create an entire specific project. I'd like to use the example of a commercial office building. I'm in Boston, so maybe my team is working on commercial office building in downtown Boston. So the project's going to have every product in every master format section. But another project type, for example, is a room type. So let's say some interior people and some mechanical people in the firm I work in collaborate to build a commercial bathroom room type where they've selected the products and materials that they've vetted for commercial bathrooms, and they maintain that, that curation of that project. So now the project team working on the commercial office building, when it comes time to select the materials for the bathrooms, are going to select the materials from the commercial bathroom project that their peers have already curated. So it's literally a rolling up of knowledge and the ability to build on the knowledge and ideas of other people. This third type is a project can be anything that you define from a selection criteria standpoint. So one of my favorite projects that one of our customers created a couple of years ago is called Luxury Vinyl Tile Alternatives. The firm didn't want to use LVT anymore, so they had their lead librarian do that research to find materials that they could use that had the same functional performance as LVT. She created a project, and now that project is available for everyone to be able to select materials from when they want to select a material that performs like LVT. And then finally, the most popular type of project is the master format section experts choices. And when I talked earlier about we like to have firms select their highest value use case, one of the organizations we worked with a couple of years ago, when we asked that question, it was a materials leader of a large design build construction firm. And she said their highest value use case would be to never again have to have a conversation with the specifiers about the commonly used architectural materials, which ones would be used in every project. And so during their 2-week evaluation, they collaborated, the specifiers and the material leaders, there were 4 of them, and they created 72 master format section projects where they selected basis of design, alternatives, and the specifier, lead specifier, I think in that case, in that business, they used Spec Link, and he was a little bit skeptical about whether he'd be able to find all of the products that they typically use. But the fact is that all of the major manufacturers do have EPDs and material disclosures and low emitting certificates as needed. So they were delighted to be able to find all the materials that they needed, along with all of the transparency documentation that you also need. So think about it like modular construction. I mean, technically, a team could assemble an entire building project by simply selecting materials from the master format section projects that others have created to assemble and build up a project. Libraries, as I said earlier, or people in your organization can save your favorite products. And we've made that process really streamlined. So as you're adding products to a project, and right now we're just inside of a project where you can see that the products that have been added, you can still see all of the disclosures and the attributes of those disclosures. You can identify if you want it to be basis of design, yes, no, or maybe, are substitutions allowed. If it's a Division 9 product, you can add the finish schedule, you can keep track of pricing. We automatically keep track of when the data was added, when the product was added. And to add this product to your organization's library, all you're going to do is click the favorite star for your organization, and it's going to automatically add that product to your library. You can actually also manually add a product to the library, but this is a way to be evaluating products in the context of a project and saving them in real time. So now let's dive into the CMF portion of the explanation. So what we've done is we have encoded the knowledge about the impact areas that each document in the catalog contributes to. So all the EPDs know what impact areas they contribute to. All the declare labels, all the HPDs, all the low emitting, all the cradle to cradle, they know which impact areas they contribute to. So that's all happening in the background. So as I mentioned earlier, as you put products into a project, these reports are just reporting templates that the data is flowing into. And each report has its own requirements for how the data gets presented. But all of that data is in your project because you're adding products to your project that have all those documents. They're encoded with the CMF knowledge. And as they flow into the reports, they display their CMF attributes, and we show you how to attribute or how to count those products in those different reporting frameworks. So now it's time for the demo. Amber, are there any questions so far?
Nope, we're all good.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go here to the demo. Oh, hang on. Okay, so here I am on the front page of the Transparency Catalog. And when you're logged into Project Builder and Library, every person who has an account has a dashboard. So here I am, I'm logged into Project Builder and Library, and here I am at my dashboard. So we're going to walk through this Bob's Big Building project. And then I'll show you more details of how to select and add products. So I've set up this project. It's called Bob's Big Building. Inside of a project, you can see there's 6 tabs. You've got your project information tab. You've got your products tab. This is where you're going to be spending most of your time adding products to a project. You can see there's already 27 products added to the project. We'll look at the reporting tab in a minute. You'll be able to keep track of products that have been installed if you want to solve that problem of no one keeps specs as built. We've given you a way to keep track of installed products. The notifications tab keeps track of every single action that anybody working on the project took, so that there's no question about like who added something or deleted something. There's a direct export into the EC3 tool to allow you to set up a building project instantly, and then to be able to plan and compare buildings so you can change up the materials in the project And every time you export to EC3, it will set up another building project. It won't overwrite the previous one. So you literally can change things and compare building options. And then here's where you're going to keep track of your project team. So you can see now I have 27 products in my project. And just for demo's sake, let's go ahead and add a couple products to the project. So I'm going to go out here and I'm going to say add from the transparency catalog. But notice I can also add from my own personal library, from the organization's library, from another project. And importantly, I can add any product from any manufacturer, whether they're in the catalog or not, because there may be manufacturers who are in the catalog, but a product that you want to use isn't, because they don't have transparency documentation. So in either scenario, you can add any manufacturer and any products. Well, let's go ahead and add from the transparency catalog. And let's say now I want to work on some products in division 7, let's say. So I can see that division 7 is a pretty substantial division. There's over 400 brands and over 2,600 products. And so what you're seeing on the left here is a series of filters that you can use in any order. So you might say, okay, before I even look at the section that I want to select products from, I know that I want to only have products that have product-specific EPDs. And I know I want a low carbon option. So I'm going to select EPDs that are in the 20th or 40th percentile. And so in the background, the transparency catalog is filtering and sorting through its data. You might also say, I want every product that I use to not only have an EPD, but I want it to have a red list free declare label, because I like declare, so I want it to have a red list free declare label. Now notice what we've done, we're reminding you the CMF contribution of each document type. So we've just literally added those as labels. So all EPDs contribute to these impact areas, all material disclosure HPDs to these two, et cetera, et cetera. So now I can see in Division 7, I've got 6 brands and 99 products that have EPDs in the lowest 20th and 40th percentile with red list free declare labels. And you can see that right here. You can see the comparative result. You can see that there's the declare label, it's red list free. Many of them also have HPDs. And now you might say, good, now I'm going to work on selecting some thermal protection. And we're going to show you all of the brands and products in 0720. So you can see there's 3 brands and 23 products now that meet those requirements. And in fact, we show you every section because we want you to be able to find brands you might not be familiar with, or solutions to a design or spec problem you might not have known existed. But if you know exactly what you're looking for, you can just say, look, I'm just looking for a board insulation. And let's see if there's some board insulation that meets those requirements. And if yes, we're in luck. If no, we've over-filtered. So let's see if we can add a couple more sections. There we go. So we've got 2 brands, Knopf and Rockwool, that meet those requirements. So I'm going to say, I'm going to research these later. I just want to select them all and add them to my project. So remember, they have EPDs, declare labels. Rockwool has Green Guard certificates and an HPD and a declare label. And so we'll show you how we account for that. So now if we go to I wasn't going to comment on this, but I think my internet is a little bit slow today because normally this is lightning fast. So I'm going to go to the reporting tab. And now in real time, you can see I had 27 products before, now I have 29. So in real time, the first reporting tab is the project CMF alignment. So it's showing me every product in the project and the documents that go with it and the impact areas that each document contributes to. So you can see there's the division, there's the name of the manufacturer, it links to their listing. If it's an activated listing, it links to the product page on their website. Many of the manufacturers in the transparency catalog have what we call a free listing. We've added their transparency content. They often don't even know about it. So what you're seeing here that's not a link is the name of the document. So the name of this cradle-to-cradle certificate, for example, is this. And you can see the C2C certificate contributes to these 5 impact areas. So you can scroll through, feel like, oh, I'm doing pretty well. I've got documents that contribute across many of the impact areas. But now let's see the same project through the lens of the Materials Pledge report. So remember, this is all the data is coming from the products in your project. And so as a status report, what we're showing you is a summary report. This is one of the ways you're able to report. So we're showing you of all the products, of all 29 products in your project, 20 of those products contribute to 6 of the material pledge categories. So we're showing you which ones. And in this summary reporting view, what the AIA has asked for is to say in each type, category type, because we're mapping master format sections to category type, how many of the products have documents that few, half, most, or all that contribute to each impact area. So you can see there's the category, there's the number of products, you can see the list of documents, and then you can see the contributions to those impact areas. The spreadsheet export has all of the detailed data. So that spreadsheet export can be reformatted and submitted as your material pledge report. In a few months, we will take the finalized Excel file, the material pledge Excel file, and we will create a version of that that you can export from this report, and so that it won't require any reformatting. But lots of folks are using this report today to submit. Now, I'm going to jump over here to give you this snapshot of the lead reports that are in development, and the first BPSP report will be delivered in probably the next 4 weeks. It's in testing now. And what I want to show you is that because the lead document list is different from the CMF, for those of you who have looked at that document list, it's a lot more explicit. And it has documents on that list that are not in the CMF. So what we're doing is we are enabling you to add any kind of document that's in the CMF, but not in the catalog, that's in lead, that's not in the catalog. And what you're going to do is you're going to select the document type that it's going to be contributing to. So in this case, it's the lead version 5 I selected. And now you'll see all of the, and what you'll see first are the lead version 5 documents that are not in the CMF. And what will happen is in the all CMF report, it will have every product in the project, but the documents that are only in the lead list will be indicated as lead. But given the material pledge and lead are both using the CMF, and lead has decided which impact areas their documents, the documents in their list contribute to, you know, in effect, we're crosswalking and showing you all of those documents in the CMF view But now, if we go back to the reporting view, the next lens on your whole report is the LEED version 5 BPSP report. So it's telling you in real time the status. So of the products that you have in your project, we're telling you that there are 11 products in 3 of the categories that BPSP reports on. So we're telling you how many you have. These are anchor links down to the section where we, again, links back to the manufacturer's listing, names the product, shows you the document, and we're doing the multi-attribute score calculation for you. So I mentioned earlier, one of the products in this example, Bear, they have both a declare label and an HPD. So in the multi-attribute score calculation, you eliminate the lower value contribution document. You take the higher value one, and then you add up across to get that multi-attribute score. And in fact, we are providing a tiny, tiny little tutorial right here that people can always check to understand how our multi-attribute scores calculated. The other thing I want to reinforce is that all of these links are live, so you can always go and read the different rating system language for the version of that credit. It's a little bit different in each of the adaptations. And we remind you, you have to use the calculator. So it's linked to the calculator. And this links to the eligible documents list. So you'll always have access to the fundamental information that drives the reporting schema. Some of you may already know that there are 2 other material credits that are based on the BPSP credit. But think of it like this. The BPSP credit is for interior products. This credit, which is a pilot credit, is for MEP products. It's based on the same eligible documents, but to earn the points, it's a little bit different. One, you don't need the calculator because it's not based on quantity or price. This one is actually based on the number of brands and the number of products, but they've created 2 types. There's targeted products and general products. And targeted products in these 3 categories, electric, mechanical, and plumbing, are products where there's very, very few EPDs for. So the strategy for the credit is to drive more demand of MEP manufacturers to create EPDs for those types of products. And so we wrote a quick summary of how you earn the credit. Again, you can go to each of the adaptations, but pretty quickly, you know that you got to use products in these 3 categories with a multi-attribute score achieved from 2 or more criteria area, and climate health is required. So we're showing the contribution to each criteria area. They actually call it something different than what the CMF calls it, but only, and this is another kind of value add to the reports, only products that will contribute to the credit get displayed in the report. So just like in the BPSP report, not all the products in the project were in that report because not all of them contribute to those categories. Some of them contribute to these categories. And if there weren't enough documents to go with that product that would meet the criteria of climate health is required, then it wouldn't show up in the report. And then finally, the third pilot credit for materials is for structure, enclosure, hardscape, and other. So again, BPSP is interiors, MEP is MEP, and now think about this last one as really everything outside the envelope, and literally everything else. It's a catch-all. So it's every other category. So to earn points, you have to have eligible documents with a minimum multi-attribute score of 3. So they're not stipulating an impact area, but it does have to have a multi-attribute score of 3. So again, only products that have that multi-attribute score of 3 will be displayed in this report. And then finally, here's the lead LEM report. So this one you do need the calculator for, but here's the categories. So there's 8 categories for this report. Again, it's a status report. We're showing you Bob's Big Building has 6 products that will contribute to 2 of these categories. So we keep track of that. You can go get the calculator. The spreadsheet export makes it very easy to enter the data into that spreadsheet calculator. And when LEAD turns that calculator into a digital tool, the spreadsheet, the export from all of these reports will go right into that LEAD calculator. And the same with Material Pledge. When that platform gets digitized, the export will be directly into that reporting platform. Now, you've probably seen on every report, or most of the reports, this button that says find more CMF documents. So we have built a CMF document finder. And I'm going to go back out to the live catalog to show you how you can actually use it today. So our commitment to the industry is that you will find every EPD, every material disclosure. As I mentioned, we're adding low emitting certificates now. And in fact, UL has given us access to their SPOT API. We're the only other organization outside of UL to have access. We're in the process of adding about 100,000 Green Guard certificates, and none of them come classified with master format sections. So it's a pretty heavy lift. You can see down here, here are all of the low emitting certificate providers that we're in the process of adding. Once we've added a slew of the Green Guard Gold, we'll be adding a CDPH compliance filter, so that if that's a baseline for your firm to find products with low emitting certificates that are CDPH compliant, you can turn that on. You'll only see the certificates that are, but also the LEAD LEM report, the requirement is CDPH compliance. So that's another way you'd be able to track if the products that you're adding are going to be able to contribute to that credit. So again, you'll get every EPD, every material ingredient disclosure, low emitting certificates, all classified and structured, that gives you detailed information about the results of the report. And particularly, we do a lot with HPDs. You can see all the ones that are pre-checked. You're going to need that for LEAD version 5. You can filter by additional listings that they screen against if you want to follow the Perkins and Will precautionary list or red list or restricted C2C restricted chemicals list. But if you want any other kind of CMF document, we've built this finder. And so we have the whole list of CMF documents, and we've linked to the website of the organization that creates those documents or created the standard. And so let's say you wanted to add more social health and equity types of documents to your products, but to your project, but maybe you don't even know which types of documents contribute to social health and equity. You can come here first and just filter by social health and equity and say, oh yeah, I wonder if there's a B Corp or whatever one of these certificates you might want to go look. You're going to click here, you're going to go to the website, search for that manufacturer, that product. Is there a certificate? Or obviously you can go to the manufacturer's website to search for literally anything else. There's a nice type ahead here. You can, if you know the name of the document type and you just want to see, go there quickly, that's going to take you there. Now, if I go back to, oh, and by the way, with the free account, you can not only see this selector, but you can see this See All Brands page. And the reason this is behind a login, the See All Brands, is because we were just getting, bombarded by AI tools scraping the websites. We just literally had to put this behind a login, but this has a very, very nice type ahead. So if you're just wondering, like, I wonder if a particular manufacturer is in the catalog, you just type that in and it pulls up a list, and it's going to take you right to the manufacturer's listing. But how we've built this into Project Builder now is, if I go back into my Project Builder account and I go back into Bob's Big Building, or any project for that matter, every product has the opportunity to be what we call enriched with any additional product content. So let's look at what do we have in glazing here. So every product has this discuss and upload button. So you can say, I want to add content, I'm going to enrich this product. You can see there's already 2 comments right there. So if I click on that discuss and upload, what you're seeing is we build a list, a product list for all the products from a single manufacturer that you have in your project. So you can literally see all those products. And now you can be commenting, you can invite other people to discuss the product with you. All this commentary will stay with the product. You can put in pricing information. And here, the part that I wanted to get to was you can add any other type of document you want to enrich that product information. So not only can you add CMF information, you can add anything. It can be a CAD file, a safety data sheet, a technical document, it can be anything. So, but let's say you are adding another CMF document. And by the way, we give you access to that selector here also. So you can pull up that selector. I want to find other documents, or I'm going to go to the manufacturer's website. You're going to download the document, drag it here or upload it here, name it. You're going to tag it. You're going to name the document type that it is. You can put in the expiration date, any kind of description. And I showed you earlier, it's going to populate that impact area in the table. This is it. Yep. So it'll show you the name of the document that you uploaded, the type that it is, any kind of description that you put with it. If it contributes to impact areas, it shows you that there. You can see this one is a non-CMF file. But the act of classifying the document is what tags it and flows it through to the real-time status reports. So not only are the documents in the catalog that we provide you being tracked and calculated in the reports, any document that you upload and add on your own also flows through to those reports. So I'm going to wrap this up and thank you all for attending today. I hope I covered topics of interest. We invite you to reach out to us if your organization might be interested in evaluating Project Builder and Library. We'd love to give you a shot at it. In the next couple of weeks, we'll be doing more demos, webinar demos to show you new functionality that's coming. We're introducing tagging that will allow you to add any other kind of classifications to your materials, whether it's for clients or other schema, or just really anything that helps you track materials. So watch for our emails and LinkedIn posts. And if you're interested in evaluating for your organization, let us know as you exit. So have a great day, and thanks again for your time.